Hi guys. Many guys on Nofap who recently started this practice, they puzzled with the question how long they'll go on relapsing and how to take the fact of sudden wet dreams, etc. I wanna bring light on this. The fact is, masturbation is a bad habit, and any bad habit has its inertia. It cannot just disappear all of a sudden. Even if you do all necessary things to prevent relapse, it'll still happen due to this inertia. While being addicted to this bad habit, you have created some algorithms in your mind, a kind of established patterns of how your mind should react to certain events. And you have trained your mind that as soon as some kind of sexual irritant appears, you go to the bathroom and discharge. Your consciousness reacts to external stimuli, images that come to you from social networks, or when you see half-naked women in short skirts, in such a way that being under the influence of these sexual images, you must lose sleep. Also, these images entering your consciousness are sometimes realized in the form of night wet dreams. So we'll come back to this inertia later in this video. So guys, why is manual satisfaction bad? Well, first of all, you imagine sexual images and stimulate yourself. In manual stimulation, you supposedly have some kind of woman. You go through this whole chain, but in reality, you don't get what you would like to achieve. Let's say you like a certain woman, but you engage in manual stimulation, so you lose sexual excitement, impulse. And then in reality it becomes harder for you to maintain sexual tension. You didn't get the woman and you don't want her anymore. But this situation is temporary, because you have already discharged, created an artificial discharge. And now you look at women as if through the glass, being in a parallel reality. You see some woman and you should have an impulse to start interacting with her, but instead of interacting with her, you go to the bathroom and discharge using her image. And you no longer want to achieve anything. You understand that this is a vicious circle. And in the end, it all leads to a nervous breakdown, because deep down you understand that you lose your self-esteem and just push yourself into a bottle. It'll be difficult for you to get out of it later, because why do you need to achieve some kind of sexual interaction with a woman if you can go to the bathroom and engage in manual stimulation? Therefore, this is a dead-end path, a path to dead end for your sexual energy. You need to either sublimate or go to pursue a woman, somehow establish contact with women, because there must be an exchange of sexual energy between a man and a woman. Since sex is not just a physical act, but also an exchange of energies between a man and a woman, this exchange of energies gives you the strength. And when you just took care of yourself and discharged that energy, afterwards you realize that you didn't receive the woman and just let out that energy. And then depression and nervous breakdowns come crashing down on you, because you realize that you are immersing yourself in your own closed space and isolating yourself from the outside world. And you can actually see the masturbators. They are pale, insecure, because they have weak energy. They are very unsure, constantly changing decisions, closed off, with weak energy. They look sick. But this is actually a disaster, guys. This is a disaster. Firstly, you undermine your mental health. That is, energetically, we have a certain program in our mind. A certain program is laid down. And if there is a sexual orgasm, there must be interaction with the opposite sex. If there is no such interaction, and you satisfy yourself somewhere in the bathroom, an orgasm occurs, but there is no sexual exchange of energies with a woman. Our consciousness perceives this as an error. An error occurs in the program of our consciousness. It is recorded in our memory, and this leads to a malfunction in our mental health. This manifests itself in the form of depression, dissatisfaction, and neuroses. You are constantly in a state of nervous tension. There is no reserve strength in the nervous system. It is weakened. You feel unprotected. The gaze of other people pierces you. You have a weak biofield, because there is no energy that comes from semen retention. When you spend semen, your energy field becomes very weak. That's why masturbators are so gloomy, sad, and unsure. Television and mass media and your external daily life are saturated with the sexual images. Everything is permeated with lust. We have to cut off all possible sexual agitations coming to us from all sides. Insta will catch you quickly, even if you are just scrolling innocently. One reel and you find yourself down that familiar path before you even realize it. Of course, porn addiction is very, very bad because you deviate from your aspirations, you deviate from life, and a parallel life emerges. You live in a parallel world with your parallel sexual images, but in reality, you have nothing. You simply live in an imaginary world. Therefore, when these two worlds collide, there is a moment of truth. A conflict arises between your inner world and the external world. This inevitably leads to a conflict. You realize that you are losing your mind because you understand that you have created a world inside yourself that is simply crumbling like a house of cards. Reality dictates its terms. Then you distance yourself and close yourself off. And reality exists on its own, and coming into contact with it is painful. Sexual energy must be either used or sublimated, otherwise it'll ruin you. Therefore, it's necessary to realize that masturbation and porn addiction are the problems, and they need to be solved. We need to find the strength to do this. And the first step is to understand that porn addiction and masturbation are your bad habits. Any bad habit has inertia, a kind of flywheel. When you try to stop it, it continues to rotate for some time. The main thing is not to give the flywheel a new moment of spin. It's like a fan that has been turned off, but continues to rotate for some time. So don't feed it with new sexual experiences and images obtained from social networks or staring at half-naked women on the street. So keep patience. Relapses will still be there for some time, but don't mind. You just keep going with your Nofap practice, and your falls down will occur less and less till disappear at all. You must learn to work with your consciousness, that is to control what you think about, and to control the images that the external world imposes on you. Meditation or communication with spiritual people helps a lot with this. Engaging in sports, fitness, and martial arts help a lot. Just go to the gyms where men train and there are no women. In the initial stages of your practice, while you are still not strong enough, avoid sexual women as much as possible, as they can pierce you with sexual vibes. The ideal, of course, is to practice semen retention, but currently not everyone immediately has such power to do this. Therefore, you just need to start with Nofap. At least stop being self-satisfied and overcome porn addiction. Well, thank you for watching. Thank God. Good luck you all. Bye.